What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today, we are talking about Clash of Champions. It was a bit of a mixed bag of a pay-per-view. We got some really high points, some low points, some things just didn't happen. And we're going to discuss everything right here, right now. So if you want to hear everything that went down at Clash of Champions, stay tuned. Right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you click the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the review. So straight from the top, we heard that Nikki Cross was unavailable. I think she may have come into contact with someone that has COVID, or maybe she has it. So we hope that Nikki Cross gets better very soon if that is the case. But her and Bayley's match for the Smackdown Women's Championship just didn't happen. Instead, Bayley offered like an open challenge which she tried to kind of end quickly. However, Asuka answered it. This match didn't last very long at all. It was quite obvious once Asuka came out what was going to happen. I had said it to some friends that Bayley is basically just going to use this chair she's carrying around to lay out Asuka, and the match is going to be, you know, DQ finish and Bayley's going to retain. And that is exactly what happened. So there's nothing really to talk about there. It was very, very short when Asuka did come out. However, when Bayley was leaving with her championship, Sasha Banks came out from behind the commentary desk, had a chair in hand, knocked down Bayley. She then proceeded to beat Bayley around the ring area, still holding her neck. Her neck was still in the brace. She had a kendo stick at one point. Bayley then eventually escaped the ring. A lot of fear in Bayley's eyes. You know, Sasha Banks has kind of got the upper hand on her with the neck brace. So maybe what's going to happen once Sasha Banks is fully healed? I guess these two are going to collide at Hell in a Cell, which is the next pay-per-view. So I look forward to seeing that. Another match which didn't happen was the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Nia Jax and Shayna were supposed to defend against Riot Squad. Now the rumors are saying that there's been another outbreak of COVID in NXT, and some of these ladies, maybe one of these ladies, may have been involved with somebody in NXT, so it's best that everyone just isolates and this match didn't go on. I guess it's the smart thing to do, but it was a shame as this match could have possibly been a win for the Riot Squad, but I'm sure we'll see this match play out on Raw in a couple of weeks if need be. Another kind of downer for myself personally was Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews. Now the match was solid, it was fine. It's just because we've seen this quite a few times. We've seen different iterations of this. For me, this feud has lasted a bit too long now, and I hope tonight with Bobby Lashley retaining is pretty much the end of it. Ricochet and Apollo Crews can walk away from this story, from the Hurt Business. I guess the Hurt Business are kind of spinning off into a feud with Retribution now. So Bobby Lashley retained against Apollo Crews, and for me, that is the end of it. I don't really want to see any more to do with these guys. A pretty solid match for me was the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura defending against Lucha House Party. We know that Cesaro can put on a great match, and Shinsuke, and to be fair, the Lucha Boys are pretty good as well. Gran Metalik wasn't in this match. It was Kalisto and Lince Dorado, the two guys that have been butting heads the most, but they managed to kind of stay on the same page and deliver what could look like a credible threat to Shinsuke and Cesaro. However, in the end, Cesaro and Shinsuke got the win. I think it's the result that most people kind of predicted. So I don't know if they're going to move on from here, because in the SmackDown Tag Team division, there is like nobody to face. But this was a really good match. It was a solid match. Let's say it's a solid match. But now we're going to get into the better side of the pay-per-view matches. But just before we do, guys, if you are enjoying this review, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button, give us a like. It's thoroughly appreciated right here at WrestleManiac UK, and it does a lot for the channel, so smash that like button. Right, so the stronger matches on the card. We got the ladder match, the triple threat ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn versus Jeff Hardy. This match was a banger. The only thing that was missing was a live crowd. This match got the pay-per-view off to a really good start, and for me, things were looking up from here. Unfortunately, like I said, it was a bit of a mixed bag from here, but this was a really good match. The high spot, Jeff Hardy swanton bomb from, you know, the 20-foot ladder that they always call the 20-foot ladder, that no one really knows if it's 20 foot, but he laid out Sami Zayn on like a bridge of a ladder from the ring to the commentary table. Swanton bomb from this ladder over Sami Zayn, just literally smashed through Sami Zayn's stomach onto the ground. It looked very painful. I hope it wasn't. To be fair, those guys didn't really sell it too much because, you know, that spot usually comes right at the end of the match, but this was more or less the middle. It was kind of the second half of the match. Let's say that. It was in the second half of the match, but they still continued for quite a while after that spot. So it can just tell you how intense and how well put together this match was. The match took a turn for the worst for some of the competitors anyway, when Sami Zayn produced 2 pairs of handcuffs. One pair of handcuffs he put through Jeff Hardy's piercing, his earlobe piercing, and attached it to a ladder. So Jeff Hardy then had to carry around this ladder next to his head. Incredible scenes, you just have to see it to believe it. And then at first, he attached the other handcuff to AJ Styles' wrist and his own wrist. So AJ Styles was trying to win the match, obviously, and now he's got Sami Zayn to be dragging around as well. He put Sami Zayn on his shoulders and tried to climb up the ladder. As he was doing this, Jeff Hardy came into the ring with the ladder by his ear, distracted AJ Styles. Those two were kind of fighting on one side of the ladder. Sami Zayn took the key of the handcuffs out of his mouth, uncuffed himself, got down from AJ Styles' back, pulled the handcuff through the ladder and attached it to another part of the ladder, the extension bit for the ladder to stand. So AJ Styles is now cuffed through the ladder and cannot move halfway up the ladder. Sami Zayn just ascends the other side of the ladder and pulls down the Intercontinental Championships. Brilliant finish from someone that, you know, he's like the evil genius right now. Like, it was so good. They played it out so well. And like I say, even before this was a complete banger of a match. Such a violent, dangerous spots all over the place. There was one spot I think I remember where Jeff Hardy was even like laying on a ladder and Sami Zayn tipped that ladder out of the ring. Like, I can't even describe how crazy it was. You just need to see this match. Probably match of the night. I think I would comfortably say this was match of the night. And yeah, Sami Zayn is the new Intercontinental Champion. But I say new, he even corrected Kayla when she gave him an interview afterwards. I'm not the new, I'm still the Intercontinental Champion. So we're going to get a lot of Sami Zayn, and to be fair, I'm going to enjoy it. He was really good tonight. We had the Raw Women's Championship match. Zelina Vega was challenging Asuka. And this match was originally supposed to be on the pre-show. The Smackdown Tag Team Championship match actually got moved to the pre-show, and this was on the main card, where it should be, you know. This is the Women's World Championship match ultimately. So that's exactly where this match should have been in the first place. Going into the match, I thought, you know, Zelina Vega, interesting new competitor. We know she can go in the ring. We haven't seen much of her in WWE in the ring, but let's see. You know, this match only had about 2 weeks of build, but let's see. And Zelina Vega really brought it to Asuka. I think we all knew she was never gonna win, but she really showed Asuka that, you know, I'm here, and the rest of us, to be fair, really showed us that I'm here to stay in the women's division. I can go, I can get down with some of you girls, and I can really compete at this level. In the end, Asuka did get the win, and after the match, I think Asuka tried to show her, you know, some type of respect, offer her a handshake. Zelina Vega rejected the handshake and gave her like a bow. I think that's something that they do in the Far East after a match. They just give them a little bow like that. However, it was a trap. I thought, oh, look at Zelina kind of showing Asuka some respect here, giving her this bow. However, it was a trap. When Asuka bowed, Zelina attacked her. So it looks like there's still some legs left in this feud. But yeah, on the night, Asuka retained the Raw Women's Championship. Next up, we had Drew McIntyre defend the WWE Championship against Randy Orton in an ambulance match. And this was a really enjoyable brawl. I'm not going to even say it's a match. It was a match in that sense, but it was not like a wrestling match at all. These guys were all over the arena. It was a brawl, and it was a really violent brawl at times. And it really got interesting for me once I saw Big Show involve himself. Now, when I saw Big Show, in fact, when I saw this person grab Randy Orton's leg and pull down a mask, I thought, is that retribution? Big Show pulled Randy Orton out of the ring, and this is him getting his revenge on Randy Orton for everything that had happened over the last few months. If I'm correct, he chokeslammed Randy Orton through the announcer's table. I'm pretty sure that happened, and I'm not making it up. So yeah, I was thinking, Drew McIntyre doesn't really need any help, does he? Like, why is Big Show involving himself? But then we soon learned that he wasn't the only one that wanted some revenge on Randy Orton. As they went backstage, Chris Christian got involved. Christian beating up Randy Orton as well, getting his revenge in. And as they went towards the ambulance later on in the match, I think Randy Orton climbed on top of the ambulance for whatever reason. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, why did he even do that? As he turned around, Shawn Michaels was on top of the ambulance as well, switching music to Randy Orton off the ambulance, and after a Claymore kick and then putting Randy Orton half into the ambulance, he pulled Randy Orton's top half out of the ambulance just a bit. Drew McIntyre done what we all thought he was going to do and delivered a punt kick to Randy Orton, threw his body in the ambulance, closed the doors, and Drew McIntyre retained his WWE Championship. Really grueling, tough match. These legends got involved, and the one legend that I guess was missing was Ric Flair, who wasn't missing. He was driving the ambulance. He drove Randy Orton out of the arena. Crazy, crazy match. I guess this certifies that Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre are done as a feud. This was a really good ending. However, I think the feud did slow down in recent weeks, and I said that in one of my past videos. I think the inclusion of Keith Lee made this feud not so hot anymore, but it was a really good ending. This has got to be the ending because of just how all the legends and everything got involved, and it's going to be interesting to see what Drew McIntyre has in store next. I'm assuming it's going to be Keith Lee for that WWE Championship. Last but not least, we had Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the Universal Championship. The match we all wanted to see how it was going to play out for so many different reasons. Jey Uso came out to the ring, followed by Roman Reigns, who looked absolutely jacked. Roman Reigns, for the first time in God knows how long, wrestled without anything on the top half. No vest, no t-shirt, no shield vest. Like, it was crazy how big he was, and they have this all along in Roman Reigns and they just never used it. Just aesthetically, you knew this guy was a beast and he was about to cause some carnage. It was mad. Literally from the first bell to the last bell, these guys talked trash throughout the match to each other. I thought they were wearing mics. I kept looking back at the screen and seeing if they had like a mic attached to their, I don't know, their body, like around their neck, because you could hear them absolutely perfectly just talk trash throughout the entire match. And this was a great mix between like a squash match, which is kind of started off like that, and then Jey put up a legitimate fight in between. But then there was one point where everything changed in this match, and I knew it changed right here, where Roman delivered a spear. Jey was out cold, he didn't pin him. Roman said, yep, you know, I told you to just take the ass whipping. I was gonna come and take your payday and done. You didn't want to lie down. You should have just come in here and lie down, but you didn't want to. So now we got to go through this. And Roman just proceeded to batter Jey Uso from this point. Like, the match aspect of this went out the window, and this was just a beatdown from here. I guess one of the most iconic sections of this match was when Roman and Jey were over in the corner, and Roman and Jey were looking straight into the camera, and Roman was saying, I am the tribal chief and I need you to acknowledge me as the chief. Tell them I am the tribal chief, I am your tribal chief, and this will all be over. As the underdog would, as the babyface would, Jey Uso refused, and Roman was like, so it has to continue, and the beatdown continued. I thought and I wanted to see Jey Uso get busted open. I think that would have been the icing on the cake, just a bit of blood here. I thought I was gonna get that because Roman Reigns was delivering like those forearm elbow moves like Brock did several years ago to Randy Orton, which busted him open. I thought that's what Roman was trying to do. At this point, Jimmy Uso, Jey's brother, ran down to the ring, hobbling on one leg. Obviously, Jimmy is suffering with an ACL injury right now, which he's recuperating from. He came down, white towel in hand. Jey Uso was telling him in the ring, don't throw it in, bro. Don't do it. I can handle it. I'm good. I'm good. Roman was just like, what's going on here? Jimmy, are you going to throw in the towel for this guy? Jey said, don't do it. Roman proceeded to beat down Jey Uso. You could even see Paul Heyman on the outside, shocked. Just didn't know what to do. These are family. These guys, like he said, are as good as brothers, killing each other right now at this point. Roman Reigns continued to beat down. It was too much to handle. Jimmy threw in the white towel. Even when Jimmy had thrown in the towel, Roman Reigns didn't stop until Jimmy had to slide in the ring and literally put his own body over his brother so Roman would stop hitting him. Guys, this scene was so emotional. It's like we all knew this was going to happen, apart from maybe Jimmy coming out and having to make the save, we all knew this kind of beatdown was coming. But it was just so emotional to watch. Like, you really need to watch this match if you haven't already. I might even have to go back and watch this because it was too crazy. It was so mad. I think Jimmy throwing in the towel for Jey kind of keeps him strong somewhat, keeps his dignity. He never gave up, but the beating was too bad. It was only going to go one way if Roman was allowed to continuously keep beating on Jey like that. So yeah, Roman Reigns still the Universal Champion. He is the tribal chief. He was crowned tribal chief. You know, Jimmy said it to him, you're the chief, man. Just leave him alone. We're all brothers. What are you doing? Roman, we've never seen this side of Roman. Never, ever. A lot of people often talk about Roman's heel run in NXT, FCW, if you ever saw that. And it wasn't even this kind of heel. It wasn't monster heel like this. He was just like a cocky heel, but this is different, and you know, this is some of the best work Roman has done in the past 6 years. And this has only been what, 4 weeks, 5 weeks maybe at max. Really interesting stuff. And that was probably the highlight of Clash of Champions for me. So guys, that is my Clash of Champions review. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, we probably got like 3 or 4 really good matches, and it's unfortunate due to the pandemic and people getting ill, the rest of the pay-per-view kind of just fell apart from there. But these 3 or 4 matches that I really kind of dug deep on is what you need to go and watch if you haven't seen this pay-per-view. Definitely worth it. Guys, again, if you enjoyed this review, please smash the thumbs up button, give us a like, and if you're new here, welcome. Please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.